This week I had an epiphany, like a thought hit me, like a ton of bricks that I'm having a hard time getting out of my head about the solution focused approach. Um, I'm planning and getting ready for my event SFBT Live that I'm doing in Atlanta, Georgia, starting on Monday, and I'm teaching with my good friend Adam Frower. And I was just kind of thinking about, like, what do I want to say and what do I want to do? And teaching solution focused brief therapy is a very difficult thing because it's so much more than just questions or teaching techniques. Like, I could teach anybody how to ask the miracle question. I could teach anybody how to do scaling and that sort of thing. But the art of this approach is knowing when to ask the questions and knowing how to phrase and word the questions in a way that is likely to produce an answer from the client that will lead towards meaningful change. The art of this approach is knowing what to do with the client's responses, whether that response is a very helpful response or a much less helpful response. I mean, whether it's like an easy thing that the client gives you or a much harder thing. And I was just thinking about that. And I realized that I think solution-focused brief therapy is hope language. I think solution-focused brief therapy is hope through the tongue. I think solution-focused brief therapy is how we speak hope. And what I mean by that, like, hope is an incredibly powerful thing. I just got done reading a book about Nelson Mandela. And in the book, it talked about how his hope for change in his country is what allowed him to sustain himself over 27 years of being locked up. That same thread can be seen in the story of Gandhi, and that same thread can be seen in the civil rights movement here in the United States with Martin Luther King and so on and so on and so on. Like, hope is an incredibly powerful thing. And in solution-focused brief therapy, we take hope and make it linguistic. So we're asking questions and we're asking clients to describe a world that they're hoping for. And that hope becomes powerful and leads towards tangible change. I have something in my office. A few of my colleagues reminded me of it this week. I have a sobriety chip taped to my bookshelf. I haven't taken it down. I got it 8 years ago. The way I got it, this client came into my office and he had a serious drinking problem. As a person in his early 20s, he started a company, ran that company quite successfully for about 15 years. So in his early to mid 30s, he sold that company for millions of dollars. And he began to overeat and he began to overdrink because he had a whole bunch of time and a whole bunch of money, and became very obese and became very alcoholic. Came to see me because he had gotten his fifth DUI, what we call DUI, driving under the influence, meaning he had been arrested for driving drunk 5 times, and the judge told him he had to go seek treatment or go to prison. And somehow he ends up in my office. I only saw this gentleman a few times, and we just did solution-focused brief therapy where he is describing the miracle version of himself, meaning the version of himself that built the company in his 20s, as opposed to the version that I was meeting years later that life had spiraled out of control. The therapy that we did sufficed his court mandate, and he didn't go to prison. I didn't see that man for an entire year after our last appointment. Calendar year, I didn't see him. And then one day I walk out into my lobby, and this man is standing in my lobby in tears. I open my lobby door, and he is standing in my lobby in tears. And he starts expressing thanks. And I almost didn't recognize him. He had lost so much weight. He was so much more clean cut. And I mean, he just looked like I almost didn't recognize him. He told me who he was, and he gave me this hug. And he reached in his pocket and he gave me his sobriety chip. And he explained to me the reason why he wants me to have it is because my office is where he found hope again. And that hope is what led him to making all these changes in his life. And that touches me so much. I mean, I wept. I hugged him and we talked for a few minutes. And it touches me so deeply. I walked into my office and I never wanted to forget that moment. So on my bookshelf, I put that coin, I put that chip where I could see it and always reference it. And I think as we think about like what is solution-focused brief therapy and how do we use it, and we think about what the impact that it has on clients and on ourselves, I think we have to remember that no matter what you say in session, it's got to lead towards hope, because solution-focused brief therapy is it's hope language. It's hope through the tongue. And it allows our clients to start to describe the world that they hope for, which allows them to think deeply about what they hope for and connect who they are to who and where they want to be. And once you do that in a really profound way, it's very difficult, if not impossible, to stay the same. And I honestly believe that's where the change comes from. It's funny that client, when he came back to my office, he didn't tell me, thanks for your advice, thanks for your techniques, he literally said, this is the office where I found hope again. And I used that hope to change my life. And as I go forward thinking about solution-focused brief therapy, I'm so excited because as psychotherapists, all we have is language. Like when we do our work, we only get to visit with our clients, once a week or once every 2 weeks, once a month, however frequently the client likes to be seen. And the only thing we get to do is talk. But this hope language, this hope-infused questions that we ask people, it's the most magical, amazing thing I've ever done with my life. And I love it. Like, I just love watching the transformation people go through, and then they take the credit for that transformation. So think about that for a minute. Think about the language that you use, not just in therapy, but just in life in general. Think about the way that you talk to people. Think about the way that you talk to people's futures. Think about the way that you talk about people's capacities for change and accomplishment. Think about their talents, because I want you to be a fluent hope talker. Whether you're doing solution-focused brief therapy in a clinical setting or just talking to your kids, friends, spouses, be a fluent hope talker, because it completely changes lives. So I hope that you found this video useful. Please like, subscribe to my channel, share this video. Let's create as much hope talk as we can. And in the world we currently live in, where there's problem talk everywhere, where we're inundated with all this craziness, I can't think of a better thing that we could do other than dump a little hope in the world. And let's see if we can make that go viral. Let's see if we can make that spread like the wildfire of negativity that currently spreads. Let's spread the hope wildfire, and let's see if we can make a world fluent of hope and love, and really change all of our lives simultaneously. Like, that would be my biggest wish. That would be my best hopes, that we create a world where hope and love are spreading just as powerful as negativity and hate. So please share this video. If you're watching this video any place other than my website, head on over to elliottconnie.com. I got tons of solution-focused brief therapy material there, completely for free. And I'd love for you to check it out. So thanks for watching this video. Give me a like, give me a share, comment below. Let's hope talk in the comments. I mean, I want to make hope go crazy. Thank y'all for watching this video, and I'll see you next time.